Robert feels that the best lead that we picked up in Florida was this private investigator.
I just can't imagine why Brock would hire one.
Well, neither can Robert, but he's working on it.
Come in. It's open. Jake, hi.
Do you want me to leave you alone?
No, that's quite all right. In fact, I'm glad you're here. I have some news that I think might be good for this third change.
What?
Well, Fred, there are two things, really. First of all, the DA has set up a date when he's going to outline the case for me.
He's willing to do that?
Oh, he has to. He's obligated by law. That way the defense is not thrown out of the box by any big fat surprises.
You said there were two things. What's the other thing?
It's just a hunch, Bobbie. But I may have come up with something that can prove your innocence, even to the DA.
Ken, what a pleasant surprise.
I'll just bet it is the way you've been avoiding me.
Now, why would the police commissioner be avoiding the district attorney?
Because you still haven't told me what you learned in Florida about the Brock case.
I haven't?
You know damn well you haven't. I want a report right now.
Sorry.
Sorry. Now, you listen to me, Robert.
I'll file that report when I've followed up on that lead. And as of right now, I haven't done that.
Confidential details with your client, you know, I'd be very happy to leave.
No need, Holly. We all know you're in Bobbie's corner.
Thank you, Holly. Jake, what did you mean that you can prove I'm innocent?
All in good time, my dear. I plan to show that there was a third person present on the night of the murder.
A third person? How do you know?
That'll be the building's assistant manager. I asked him to come up. Mr. Grady, thanks for coming.
Yeah, I don't have much time.
Well, then I'll get right to the point. You told me, did you not, that on the night of the murder, the night of Mr. Brock's murder here in the penthouse, that you locked the lobby door. See what I mean? I'm on my way down to police headquarters to check those arrest reports for the evening that he was killed.
You think they might have picked him up that night?
Well, I certainly hope so. And if they did, I certainly want to talk to him. Bobbie, listen, I want you to do something while I'm gone. I want you to think hard, real hard. Try to remember anything you may have seen or heard that even might indicate that there was somebody else in this apartment.
Robert, your trip to Florida, warm, sunny Florida, was at city expense. Am I right?
Was every penny, but I didn't have a decent meal for the whole trip.
My condolences. Point is, anything that you learned in Florida is official information, and as district attorney, I am entitled to a full report.
Starting with my eating habits?
The meat and potatoes, Robert.
Touché.
Oh, are we fencing? Give it to me, Robert. I know you went down to Florida to check on that trip that Brock made. I also know that his wife was a hustler down there.
Bobbie was a very young girl then.
I'm not passing judgment. I'm asking for what you found out, and I might add, on city money.
Well, why didn't you say so?
Are you having fun, Robert?
Ken, your visits always lighten my day. All right? You want to know? Well, here it is. Brock went to Miami to hire a private detective.
For what?
I don't know yet. I haven't been able to question the guy.
10 to 1, Brock hired him to find some more dirt on his wife. Maybe some crime she was involved in years ago.
It's a possibility.
Think about it. Hookers tend to run with mobsters.
I've heard that.
Let's get more on that.
Meaning you want my department cooperation?
My prerogative, I believe. You get the Miami police force to give us everything they've got on Bobbie Brock, no matter how far back it goes.
Okay, but that's going to take time.
I want the full story on her, and I want it now.
Put this through on the way. When he answers, you're going to be able to listen in.
All right.
You've reached the Garvey office.
Oh, it's his answering
At
machine
the sound
again.
of the beep, please leave your message and a telephone number, and I'll get back to you as soon as possible.
Well, there's no point in leaving a message again. He's never going to return a call from a police official.
Oh, come on now. We should be able to come up with a message that would intrigue him enough that he'd call back.
I'm trying to think of something.
Too bad we can't have Brock call him.
What?
Well, Brock retained him. He'd certainly return a call from Brock, wouldn't he?
Ah, did I ever say what a genius you were, Mr. Brock?
What?
Got news, and for once, it's all good.
Jake, what happened?
Well, I saw Ramsey about the arrest reports the night of the murder. You ready for this? There was a guy arrested today for stealing a stereo out of a car.
Oh, there must be more.
Oh, yeah, there certainly is. The guy's name is Vincent Becker. The car that he took the stereo from was parked 2 doors from this building on the night of the murder.
Well, how come Robert hasn't made this connection?
Well, he hasn't had time yet. The guy was arrested today for fencing all that stuff. They were still booking him when I left headquarters.
Did you talk to him?
Not yet, but Ramsey's going to set it up. You know what I think went down that night?
What?
Well, first of all, this Becker character, or any thief for that matter, was in this penthouse before anybody came home that night.
He was right here.
Sure, why not? He was in the process of robbing the place when he heard you guys coming. He hid. Then when you were unconscious, he tried to make his getaway, but Brock confronted him.
And?
Well, Brock had his gun. A fight ensued. The thief took the gun away from Brock and shot him, and then hightailed it out the door.
You know, that could be exactly what happened.
I'm sure it is. And Bobbie, I want you to do something. I want you to search this place and see if you notice anything that was stolen.
But I haven't noticed anything.
Well, look again. Look thoroughly this time.
You know, your theory would also explain why there were no unknown fingerprints on the gun. If this Becker chap was a pro, he would undoubtedly have been wearing gloves. And if they were made of some synthetic material, they wouldn't have smudged the prints already on the gun.
That's right.
Jake, if you talk to him, do you think he'll confess?
Well, I'm sure he will not willingly confess, but you know, Scorpio, if he can get a good case against him, he can get him to break.
It would be incredible. I could forget about that dream that I had. What dream? A dream that I shot Brock.
Damn it, Bobbie, will you forget about that dream?
I'm explaining my dream.
That's what it was, a dream, a hallucination. It did not happen. It is not a fact. You did not kill your husband.
Apparently you had quite a good day.
What would make you think that?
Well, you're not growling. Does that mean you got something out of the private investigator in Miami?
Well, I had a talk to him. Didn't learn too much. But I wouldn't worry about Mr. Garvey. By the time I'm finished with him, I'm going to nail his pelt to the wall. What about your day?
Spent most of it with Bobbie. And with Jake. He has a new lead. But then I suppose you already know that.
What lead?
Well, mostly it boils down to the fact there was a thief in the area of the penthouse the night of the murder.
Oh, yeah. Bert mentioned something about that. Character called Becker. Apparently we have him in custody.
I know. Jake's really banking on this as a big break in the case.
Well, we won't know if it's a big break or not until tomorrow, till we start to talk to this person. Incidentally, I'm going to have Jake in to help me question Becker.
Did you talk to Ruby? I know you planned to.
She came into the office.
And?
Well, she was certainly very willing to talk about her days in Florida with Bobbie, and she wanted to be helpful.
Well, was she?
No. Oh, there was a flicker there when we started to talk about Florida, but no solid information. Certainly nothing that Brock could have found out about Bobbie's life that he could have used against her, and nothing that would have motivated her to want to kill him.
Well, that fits right in with what I think Jake's plan of defense should be.
What?
Lack of motive.
Ah, but you are forgetting something, my dear. That is Brock's uncontrollable temper. I mean, that guy couldn't have been easy to live with.
Bad enough for a wife to murder him.
The DA will try to make that case.
And I'll use the tape as a backup. But who's going to believe all that stuff about Bobbie and Rick Weber? I mean, it's going to be awfully hard to take that seriously, especially with Brock's reputation for irrationality.
Still, I'd like to find some solid evidence, something which would clear her entirely without any shadow of a doubt.
She's very lucky, you know. Most police commissioners would be hell-bent on establishing a case against her. At least you're impartial.
Well, she's still a citizen and entitled to my protection. Just because she's been accused doesn't mean to say she's lost her rights.
Do you think you're going to be able to help her?
I'm going to try. Starting with this Garvey person. I want to know why Brock retained him and what he reported.
Well, do you think he'll volunteer then?
Not from Florida, he won't. That's why we're making some special arrangements to bring him here to Port Charles. And where I intend to lean on Mr. Garvey, lean on him hard. It's my best lead.